Welcome back, everyone, to the PS2 game Mortal Kombat Armageddon with your host, Samuel G. And today, we're going to do something I haven't done on this channel before. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into the content of the game we've been playing the past month. I want to begin by saying I have a special place in my heart for the Mortal Kombat games. Even those 90s movies that people love to hate on. In this video, we're going to touch on the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. I've played this game for years on and off, and over time playing these games, I have curated a list in my head what makes or breaks a Mortal Kombat game. This should go without saying, but this is my opinion, and there are some exceptions. But without further ado, let's get right into this. The game touches on some things, levels up on some things, and completely just spine rips some of them. We'll start with the regular tower mode that any Mortal Kombat player is aware of. Let's address the biggest selling point for this game. All characters from the 3D era are playable. 63 characters to choose from. 63! When I first saw this, my mind could not contain its excitement. It was epic because all of your favorites were there. Cobra, Su Hao, Mocap? Mocap? Like a mocap outfit? A dude in a mocap outfit? Seriously? Well, at least you have options, right? I could play as my favorites. Scorpion, Reptile, Kung Lao, Ashura. I even catch myself randomly selecting sometimes. And the majority of characters, if not all, have alternate costumes, which is awesome. I mean, a lot of them are callbacks to older ones. Some of them are just made up for this game, which is just it's awesome. You can tell that the developers really put some time and effort into this. That means that I can play as a not so dead Liu Kang. Scorpion has his awesome costume from Deception. I loved the Shaolin Monk's reptile design, even the Deadly Alliance outfit, which I like. You can hate me in the comments. So we choose our character. I'll go with Scorpion. And we'll go into the tower. First thing we'll have to talk about is we have a regular fighting stance, a weapon, and special moves like Scorpion's famous spear. This is a pretty good system, but I have to touch on something ugly if we're going to talk about this properly. Because of the aforementioned large roster, it seems that some limitations had to happen. There are a lack of combos that make it a bit hard to switch things up, and with some characters, it makes it a bit lackluster, maybe even a little boring. And touching on things that are lacking, we'll get into the one thing that I cannot stand about this game. Kreate-A-Fatality. Because of the sheer amount of characters, the team couldn't, perhaps wouldn't, design individual fatalities which are a staple point of Mortal Kombat. Instead of these fatalities, you are given 16 or so different ways of creating these fatalities. All characters are given the same animations for each input, save for the bigger characters like Moloch, Goro, and all those guys. And there are different sizes of combatants. You have small, medium, and large, meaning these animations, when applied in certain circumstances, are a bit goofy and buggy. Which made me realize, while I was happy with all these characters, it caused a lot to be desired. I would rather have fatalities than have mocap. Seriously? Why is this character here? I mean, who plays as mocap? Out of all of these characters, mocap. If you play as mocap, tell me why in the comments. I would rather have a select few characters and have awesome combos and fatalities. But we'll touch on my favorite aspect of this game, the greatest thing in my opinion. Konquest, as we've seen in the series, pretty much you take an RPG and you slap some Mortal Kombat stuff in there, and you have a great time. It started in Deadly Alliance as almost a fight trainer, so that way you could get more you could get more well acquainted with how the combos and stuff work, but it was really tightened in Deception, and then even more in this game. The main plot of the game goes like this. You play as a new character that we've never seen before called Taven, son of the elder god Argus, and a powerful sorceress called Delia. And you're woken up to realize you've been stored away for many years until your time has come. You find out that your younger brother Dagon was woken up years prior. The Mortal Kombat tournament that we have seen in all previous games has begun to spiral, and the combatants are growing way too powerful. So Delia, your character's mother, created a failsafe in the form of a firespawn creature known as Blaze. As Taven awakens, he finds out that his mother and father are no longer alive, and the coming Armageddon is well on its way. The further you go, you realize your brother Dagon has sided with the bad guys, even killing your mother and father to gain ultimate power once he stops you in Blaze. The story is you stopping him from doing just that. The game mode spans many levels, many fights, and throughout it is collectibles and coins we can use in a later portion that I will talk about. Through jungles, through a robotic airship, through Arctic lands, even to a place known as the Netherrealm. It's a classic in the sense that everything can be unlocked through this mode and the mentioned later portion that I will touch on here in a minute. There are two main fighting styles in this game. You have the run and punch fighting style, which is like the RPG kind of thing, and you have the regular Mortal Kombat fighting style that you see in this game and the previous games in like Tower Mode. In the run and punch fighting style, you move freely around the area, fighting multiple minions for the most part. This is one of the things I love, being able to fight like that, even execute some cool fatality-like finishers under the right conditions. Some bosses in the game are even in this fighting style. Sometimes you're given weapons to make the fighting a bit more fun. However, one complaint I have about this style, why is there no lock-on? You're going to give me a fireball that I can't aim with? This game would be so much easier if it just had a designated button for locking on. Like, come on. I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard to program, considering that there's already so much in this game. You could have squeezed in just one bit of locking on. That's it. Like, I shouldn't fire a fireball and it just go in the complete opposite way that I wanted it to go. Aggravating. Now, in the Mortal Kombat style of fighting, Taven is one of those characters that when I said lackluster earlier, I meant him. If you're going to create a character for a whole major story arc, at least build him up, in previous games, or give him a moveset worth playing with. Genuinely, without the special moves, this character would be unplayable. He has one move that I have found to be unblockable, but everything else can and will be blocked. The combos, just like with the rest of the characters, they're barely there. Barely there. Which makes it for a hard time, because if the character you're fighting against ends up learning these very limited combos, they're going to block them. And for Taven, it just makes him out to seem like a very weak character. And then you get to the ending. Okay, so how it is one brother is going to defeat Blaze and take all the combatants' powers, or one brother is going to defeat Blaze and is going to kill all the combatants, Liu Kang and all them. But when you do win this, you come to find out that doesn't even need to happen, that a third thing happens. And it's just, I do encourage you to play through this so that way you can understand the nuances of it. But just know that you're going to have kind of a hard time. That being said, though, Konquest is one thing I yearn to make a comeback in all installments of Mortal Kombat, though we haven't gotten one since this game. I believe my love for this more RPG-type gameplay comes from my love of Shaolin Monks, a game based around Liu Kang and Kung Lao, but that's a different topic for a different time. But I would gladly take another Konquest over the glorified movies they make nowadays. However, the timeline stuff they do now might not make for a good Konquest, but what do I know? Pay to win Konquest? Give me a break. I remember sitting for hours to unlock things, not because I had to, but because I genuinely wanted to. On to the next section, which may be short, but there are reasons. There's another game that is a one-off in this game, known as Mortal Kombat. We have looked at it in a previous video. It's a racing game mode that allows you to use certain characters from the main roster, and they're given special abilities. This almost seems like I'm assuming Mario Kart was pretty big at the time, so they were like, you know what, let's hop on that bandwagon. Because in Deception, you had stuff like chess combat, which is literally the characters on a chessboard, and you had to play chess, and puzzle combat, which is almost like Tetris in a way. But anyways, back to Mortal Kombat. I said that they're given special abilities, like Scorpion has his spear, Raiden has lightning, Melina has a boost, Johnny Cage has his green balls, and so on. This was a great little kart racer that is a good little pastime for you and some friends to sit down and challenge each other a bit. The 10 characters you can use are icons for the series. You had Scorpion, you had Sub-Zero, Jax Briggs, Kitana, Melina, Raiden, Bo Raucho, Cyrax, Baraka, and Johnny Cage. There is, to find one complaint about it, there's only 5 levels. 5. Which I put in the one video that I made about it. It's Bo Raucho's Brewery, the Lingque Raceway, the Lost Pyramid, the Botan Jungle, and the Outworld Refinery. I would have loved to have been able to do multiple videos on this game mode, but it would get boring so quick. While I don't ever see it making a return, it would be fun to see in a future installment. Sadly, that's all there is to it. Do recommend that if you haven't played Mortal Kombat Armageddon, please go ahead and give it a try. Mortal Kombat is good for gathering coins for the next section of the video. With coins you collect through the Tower, Konquest, and Mortal Kombat, you have this section, a 5-6 screen area where you can unlock alternate costumes, levels, soundtracks, concept arts, even behind the scenes videos. Plus the atmosphere is awesome. It makes you feel like you're actually in some dark and dingy dungeon. From screams to loud noises to this awesome soundtrack. This is known as the Crypt. Now, this has been in multiple games before, and has even been in multiple games after. I won't say multiple games after, because I do know for a fact that it was in Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 9, but I'm not sure it was in Mortal Kombat X, and then Mortal Kombat 1. But anyways, that's off topic a little bit. Speaking of the soundtrack, the music in the levels is genuinely one of the things that made me become a musician. I remember in the game Deadly Alliance, there was a music video for Immortal by a band called Edema. That single-handedly made me a metalhead. And just the music that, the first Mortal Kombat game I played was Mortal Kombat 4 on the N64, and it was just so good. I'm going to have to do a deep dive into Mortal Kombat because it's been such a staple point in my life. But anyways, the Crypt has been a staple point for a while in the video games, making a return in MK11 as a quasi-conquest Crypt thing. But they barely did anything with it. But these were truly the good days when you were able to sit down, play a video game, and not have to worry. Remember when you could unlock things in the game by, playing the game? I swear, this is my biggest complaint in modern video games. Why can we not unlock everything in the $60+ game unless we spend more money? Whole other topic for a whole other video. Now we'll get into the final portion of this video, which is the rating. Is this the best Mortal Kombat game? No. Is it one of the funnest? Absolutely. I've had years of fun with this game, and I hope future generations don't forget about the PS2 era of the Mortal Kombat games. The 3D era, the real era to me. Even with all that was said, this is still a game I come back to. Let's do a little recap. There was a massive roster, 63 characters is genuinely insane and still impressive to this day. I clearly felt excitement and nostalgia even when going back. And alternate costumes across the board is a strong plus. That alone carries plus 1.5 points. Now the Konquest Mode, I love Konquest Mode. Exploration, unlockables, RPG elements, and lore all land that is just amazing to explore. I really do mourn its absences in modern Mortal Kombat. Even with Taven being lackluster, this mode was the heart of the game for me. That gives it 2 points. Now the Crypt, the atmosphere, the music, the collectibles, the behind-the-scenes content, it really does remind me of the good old days of gaming. I really have a frustration with modern monetization that just actually elevates how much that I love the Crypt system. I'll give it 1 point for that. And Mortal Kombat as a novelty, it's fun, couch multiplayer energy, but not deep, but charming. I'll give that 0.5 points. Now these are the things that really drag this game down. And these really do hit hard. Kreate-A-Fatality. Who likes this system? It removes character identity, gives repetitive animations, and breaks the core MK fantasy. Minus 1.5 points. The shallow combat due to there's really a bloated roster. I mean, there's some of these characters in this that we didn't need to see, but I respect them for doing this. It pertains to the story. There's a weak combo variety. Many characters felt interchangeable or even boring, and I would trade characters for depth. Minus 1.5 points. Now, Taven as a protagonist. He has a bland moveset, a very poor build-up, and weak gameplay for a story-centric character. Minus 0.75 points. Mortal Kombat had a bit of a drought when it comes to the content. Only 5 tracks. That was seriously wasted potential. Minus 0.25 points. It's truly a game that I wanted to love more than I actually do, which seems to be a theme with these Mortal Kombat games. So, the overall rating, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Because it's, like I said, it's still a game that I come back to. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been the PS2 game, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, with your host, Samuel G. If you like it, hit that like button. And if you want to stick around for what comes next, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm Samuel G, and until next time, I hope you all have a lovely, lovely day.